Hello, and welcome to Hereby Nature. Today, I'm going to be doing a small reflection over the year of 2025 in my personal life and a little bit in the growth of this channel, which may seem small, but honestly, to me, I hit some big milestones, which, again, in the grand scheme of things, may sound really small. Um, but yeah, I'm titling this video Living in Answered Prayers because throughout the year I prayed for certain things, and honestly, I didn't think that they would ever really come. And now, even though my life isn't like perfect or like where I think I would want it to be, it is a lot better than it was. And yeah, so really the first one and the main one is not necessarily like a work-life balance, but my job. At the beginning of the year, I was in a high-stress commission job where every month I started back at zero, and just that in itself kind of like, I mean, it really got to me, where it was just like this like self-defeating thing of just like I have to make it back to 100%. And like I pushed myself, so like even 100% wasn't good enough. Like I needed to be like 110, 120%. So for me, it just really didn't work out. um, I was good at it for like a good amount of time, but where I'm at right now, not so much. So first couple months I really struggled with like, what do I do? Like, do I just like leave? Do I like try to like stay with the company and like work through it and all this kind of stuff? And I had some conversations with my husband, and we really came to the realization of just like I need to get out of it, like no matter what, like whether I had a job lined up or not. So I ended up putting in my 2 weeks, really like putting my trust in God of just like I'm the breadwinner, going down to like being unemployed basically. And yeah, at that time it really like took a shift of just like I'm not that breadwinner. Like that was like the big like first ego change that I feel like God was trying to lead me to, of just like that's not where you're supposed to be. So he took me out of the breadwinner position and I was unemployed. So I did like a complete 180. And I'm not gonna lie, I did enjoy my time off when I was unemployed. I really took a lot of time in like focusing more on the channel and like revamping it. And like I say revamping it, like it's still basically the same kind of videos at that point in like the February, March, April timeframe. But I was able to do what I felt like was more planning, more revising behind the scenes, that kind of thing. Making plans for the rest of the year so that it wouldn't be so last minute for me. Yeah, I learned how to do sourdough bread and I perfected that, and that was amazing. I had time basically, and that in itself was like a little gift from God. Almost like a sneak peek, I feel like, if you will, where like right now both me and my husband have to work where we're at in life, but I feel like I got like a little glimpse of just like this is what hopefully the not so far off future holds for you, where you can be a stay-at-home mom and like, I mean, ideally mom. That's a whole other thing that I don't know about, like delving into the channel kind of thing. But yeah, just like being a housewife basically. And that's what I would like to be, where I can cook and clean and like take care of the house like I need to. Because fast forward a few months into the year of 2025, and I find it was a part-time job at a place that I enjoyed working at, up until where I had to go into hospital again. And this time it was for my like regular mental health stuff, and it was really crappy. Honestly, I'm not gonna lie. Whenever I came back, they were just like, yeah, well, you don't have a job with us anymore. And I decided not to do any like legal things with it, because I feel like I could with the American Disabilities Act and being in hospital, and like just them not like taking me back after that. I feel like there could have been a case there, but I just wanted to move forward with my life basically. So I did that. I started looking again. I was like kind of freaking out because like we were needing money at that point. Sorry, my dog escaped the backyard again. But yeah, we were kind of needing money at that point, and I was just like almost at my wit's end of just like, do I have to go back into sales? Do I have to like give up what I like tried to run away from, and just kind of suck it up and go back into like what I had been doing for like a decade? And I was really worried about it for a little bit, and then I thought about it and I was just like, well, why don't I like try back where I started initially at Walgreens? It was another part-time spot, but I would have been making, or I started out making, because spoilers, I got the job. I started out making a lot more than the initial job that I had. So even still, like that part-time job was a bump up for us. So started working part-time back at Walgreens at a really lovely store out in Silsbee, Texas. And super nice, like all the people there were amazing. And really low volume store, very chill, very relaxed, very what I needed at the time. Coming from the remote setting to working back in person with people, it was kind of what I needed to almost ease into what was coming for me, which was a promotion. So within the month almost, I don't even think I was there for a month before my manager, the store manager, came up to me and was just like, hey, they have a new position. It's not a new position, but like the position was opening back up in the store that I initially worked at, like my first job ever, at Dowlin and Folsom in Beaumont, Texas. And he was like, are you interested in this position? And I told him, I was like, well, when I was doing the e-learnings and the trainings online, basically, this was the job that interested me the most with the company. So I thought it was perfect. He thought that I would be great for that position. And yeah, I decided to take it. It was full-time, where again, the position I was in was part-time. So okay, my puppo came back. So yeah, it just seemed like it was this like great, amazing thing. So moved over to the crazy high volume store, and I was their inventory specialist for, I don't even remember how long, a few months, a good amount of time for the year. And again, at the time, it's what I needed. It got me into full-time. It got me into knowing this store manager, and we really like talked a lot, bonded. Like she even says like, I feel like your family now. So like we really got to like understand each other basically, and just like where I stand with work, in that I need Sundays off for church, and now with the new schedule that I have, Thursdays off so I can lead my small group. But yeah, so I got the inventory specialist job after a couple months, and eventually we came to a position where we were piloting a photo specialist position, which was the same exact job that I initially had a decade ago whenever I first started working. So I was like, oh, I would love to do that. And she was like, well, I need you in your position where you're at right now. And I was like, okay, fine. So a month or two passes, and we have the conversation of like, maybe we should switch some people around. So now I am the photo specialist, and it is even less stress for me. And we worked out something where it's just like the perfect situation, basically. So, sorry, my puppo was making puppo noises. But yeah, as far as work goes, I'm living in the answered prayer that I'm able to provide for my family. Even though, well, right now it's my husband and my pets. I'm able to provide. I have a full-time job. I'm about to actually have the healthcare benefits, so that I can see about doing like telehealth again and just all that kind of craziness. So yeah, pretty excited about that. Honestly, like the biggest prayers have been about work. I feel like it was last year, not so much this year. We did have a little scare this year where whenever I was unemployed and we had that whole little stint that we were going to have to like downsize and go into an apartment. So we were like getting rid of a lot of stuff. And that's why it's not so much a Christian gardening channel anymore. It's just a Christian channel with the backbone being the journal, devotional, thought-provoking questions kind of thing. Because, here, I'll actually show you. My garden is no longer, I guess I could technically put it back together, but it is, it's demolished. We're trying to get everything all set back up for potentially selling the place. But yeah, we were expecting to sell the place. Come here, kitten. Expecting to have to move back into a apartment. Oh, you want to fight? But yeah, so that's another answered prayer that we are, through God's grace, I was able to find a full-time job through my part-time jobs, and really just now be able to bask in it, with me having Sundays off continually. Even just today, I was like doing the laundry and like preparing. I'm making a turkey for a late Christmas, early New Year's, because I have the day off, meal, feast, if you will. But yeah, just preparing for that, I really like had a little moment where I was like, you know what? This is it. Basically, like, this is where my focus needs to be, is at home. And of course, doing the YouTube thing part-time. It doesn't really take me too long to make the videos or edit them, but tending to the house, tending to my husband right now, he's not feeling well. And I went to Walgreens in our little hometown and got him some medicine, and I hope that he feels better. If you guys are watching this as it comes up, please pray for his health. that would mean a lot because he's down in the dumps right now. And if you want to, pray for my health, because I'm starting to get the scratchy throat that he's talking about, and I'm trying to fend it off because I don't have too much PTO saved up. And while we are doing better, we could always be doing better, basically. But yeah, enough about that. Another answered prayer is the second time whenever I went into hospital. It was not my normal mental health stuff. It was still mental health, but I had, for vagueness, too detailed of a plan. And they were like, nope, we need to change your medicine. We need to monitor you for 24 hours. For those of you guys who understand that, you'll get the gravity of it. And really want to make sure that the medicine change is what you need, and go from there pretty much. So I went back into mental health hospital for about a week. And luckily my boss was very understanding. I did make her feel kind of bad because I was like, I am stressed out about work, but it's not just work. It's like a whole bunch of stuff. And one of those things being friends. I'm going to try not to cry because I'm still like clearly very hurt and upset by this. Because there was one person who I really wanted to be my friend. And I thought she was so cool. It was just a whole thing of just like I was waiting for her to reply back to me so that we could get together and hang out and like start this really cool, what I thought would be friendship. And I wait 3 months for her, a whole quarter. And she's like, I'll get back with you whenever I'm ready, basically. So I'm waiting and I'm waiting and I'm waiting, and I'm like all in my head about this whole thing, and like nobody else. I had one constant friend, but even them, we were kind of like in a spat, I guess. Not necessarily a big old fight, but we weren't really like hanging out or anything. So yeah, around that time is whenever I had those like terrible thoughts, went in hospital, and the day that I got out was the day that my, at the time, small group, I didn't lead it, I was a member of it. I decided, like, you know what, I'm going to go to small group, I'm going to go, like, be around people, I'm not just going to stay home and, like, continue to wallow in it. So go to small group, tell the person who I wanted to be really good friends with, hey, this is why I haven't been to small group for a couple weeks. She mentioned like, oh, like, I'm really glad that you're here. And then she looked me in the eyes and was just like, I mean it. And I was like, cool, like, that's awesome. That's like the validation that I needed of just like, I need to be here kind of thing. Well, fast forward to later that night, devastation hits, basically. I text her and I'm like, hey, like, I really want to be your friend, but the time that it took for you to not even respond to me about getting together and hanging out, like, that really hurt. And I don't want to like start a friendship with bad feelings. So I told her, I was like, this is how I feel. This is how, like, yeah, basically this is how I feel. And I don't want there to be like ill feelings. Like, this is where I stand, basically. And she responds with, I'm being dramatic. And yeah, basically just that. Very hurtful words. So I go to sleep crying that night. Because I'm like, well, I decided that like I'm not going to do anything bad or like life ending at that point. But at the same time, like, how crappy of a situation to be in, basically. Like, trying to reconcile and start fresh almost, but just not being met the way that I was expecting to. So, yeah, but that's not where the story ends. A little bit of time passes, and I decide, maybe that small group isn't really like the best fit for me. The ending to that conversation that I had with that girl is, I guess I'll just like give you space and just like not talk to you. And her response wasn't even words, it was the little peace emoji, which was like the straw that broke the camel's back, and like why I cried, because I was just like, I wasn't even worth a word. But whatever. Fast forward a couple months, I began talking to the small group pastor, and I'm like, hey, I'm thinking of starting a small group. I think at that point I'd emailed the place where I was wanting to host the event. And yeah, planned it for like a certain Sunday, a certain Thursday. And I started talking to a couple people at our Praise Young Adults. And I think the first Thursday that I actually held it, we had like 5 people, which sounds like small numbers, but for a small group, that's like a healthy, strong, small group. And now regularly, we have 3 to 5 people that come pretty regularly. Every now and then, the people will fluctuate, but those numbers will stay pretty similar. And yeah, the happy ending to it is now I have those 7 or so girls that I can call friends. We're growing in faith together. And yeah, if you guys are interested, sorry, I'm going to try to cut out the crows as much as possible. If you're interested, me and my small group, we're going through the Bible, ideally in a year. The videos will be posted for a year span. And I'm going to try my best to get everybody through it. But if you're interested in some thought-provoking questions, feel free to subscribe and yeah, follow along. Before I go, I want to leave you with a question. What answered prayers are you walking in today? And yeah, see you guys next week. Bye.